Hello, I'm Madam Eva, a biology teacher from Educate Tanzania, and I'm here again, my dear student, to take you through a series of lectures involving solving of revision questions in our beloved book of Tanzania Institute of Education. And now we'll deal with the level of Form 4 in the topic of evolution in the revision exercise number 4. As we can see here, we will solve in our today's section. In our today's session, we will solve the question number 1 up to the question number 14, in which our questions of today are the multiple choice questions. As you can see here, choose the most correct answer in the questions 1 up to question 14. Maswali yetu ya leo ni maswali ya kuchagua. Ukienda katika kitabu cha TAI Revision Exercise number 4, utayaona vizuri maswali yako na utajipatia majibu katika session yetu leo nzuri sana. And now we will start with the question number 1. As you can see, paleontology is the study of dash dash. A. Physics. B. Science. C. Botany. D. Fossils. That is all about paleontology. Swali letu linatuhitaji tutoe paleontology is the study of what? You can see first choice is physics, second is science, the third one is botany, and the final one is fossils. Tunapozungumzia paleontology, my dear students, I have to remind you a little. Paleontology is the scientific study of fossil records. Mabaki, study about remainings. Maybe you want to understand the changes of those fossils kutoka age moja au kutoka mwaka mmoja kwenda mwaka mwingine. For instance, from the ancient time to the current time, you will have to study maybe about the skull structures, the bone structures, and their variations. And all the studies are referred to as paleontology. Hiyo process ya kusoma fossils inaitwa paleontology. So our correct answer here, you can see it is D, which is fossils. I hope you understand and you get it well. Now we are going to the second question. As you can see, organisms undergo gradual changes in order to adapt to their environment. This process is called a dash dash. Thus, organisms, they undergo gradual changes in order to adapt to their environment. And that process of undergoing gradual changes is referred to as dash dash. That is all about the question number 2. Let's take a look on the choices. A is degeneration, B is evolution, C is extinction, and D is adjusting. The process of organisms to undergo gradual changes so as to fit into the environment or to adapt to the environment. That is all about evolution. Tunapozungumzia evolution, the meaning or definition of evolution inatuambia refers to the gradual or slow process whereby organisms change from the simple form to the complex form. That is all about evolution. Kwa hiyo, jibu letu sahihi hapa ni B, which is evolution. And now we are going to look on the question number 3. We can see the theory of natural selection was proposed by dash dash. The theory of natural selection was proposed by dash dash. Here we are looking for the person or for the one who proposes the theory of natural selection. Ukirifaa katika notisi zako ambazo tumezisoma hapa katika media yetu nzuri Educare Media Tanzania, utapata kujionea kwamba tumesoma lots of theories of origin of life as well as theories of organic evolution. And when you take your time and pass through these sessions, so utaweza kujua kwamba theory of natural selection aliyeipropose ni nani. Even though ukitumia kitabu chako cha TAI utaweza kuelewa vizuri. And now, as we can remember, natural selection ilikuwa proposed by Darwin. And now let's take a look on our choices tuangalie. The first one is Gregor Mendel. The second one is Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. The C is Charles Darwin, and D is Stephen Gould. tunaangalia nani ambaye aliweza kupropose theory ya natural selection. And directly here you can see the correct answer is all about Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin ndo aliweza kupropose the theory of natural selection. So the correct answer here is C. And then we are going to take a look on the question number 4. We can see which of the following is not an example of homologous structures? Which of the following is not an example of homologous structure? Before you answer the question or you start to look on the answers, kwa sababu unaweza ukaingia kwenye responses zikakuchanganya. Start to remind yourself, what is homologous structure? And I will have something to tell you today so that you will be capable of differentiating between homologous structure and analogous structure. When you talk about homo, means the same. Homo means the same, but logous mean origin. I hope you get me and you get the point. When you talk about homo, you mean the same, but when you talk about logous, you mean origin. So when you talk about homologous structure, meaning that they have those structures, they have the same embryonic origin. So utakuja kuangalia kwenye choices, then utaangalia structures ambazo zimewekwa kwenye choices ambazo zina indicate origin moja, hizo ndo homologous structure, but ambazo zinaonyesha kabisa hazina embryonic origin moja, hilo ndo litakuwa jibu lako. The vice versa is true kwenye analogous structure. Analogous, ana means the different logous origin, so meaning different origin or different embryonic origin. And then my dear student, tuende tukaangalie the answer of our question. You can see pentadactyl limbs in vertebrates. That is the first choice of our question. Pentadactyl limbs in vertebrates. Pentadactyl limbs in vertebrates, they have the same embryonic origin. So this is the homologous structure. And our question needs us to provide the answer which is not the homologous structure. Let's take a move. We can see part B is beaks in birds. Beaks in birds. Tunapozungumzia homologous structure, kitu kingine ambacho sijakwambia, apart from saying that they have the same or common embryonic origin, a homologous structure, they perform different functions. They have the same embryonic origin, but they do different function. Here you can see part B is all about beaks in birds. Tunasema midomo ya ndege. They have the same embryonic origin, but they perform different function because there are a lot of birds in the universe. Most of them, they use their beaks to eat seeds. Others, they use their beaks to eat the small microorganisms. Others, they use their beaks to eat the flesh food. Others, they use it to eat the meat and so forth. Kwa sababu tunaangalia variation of the shapes of their beaks. There are some birds, they have the long pointed beaks, others they have short beaks and blunt one. Kwa hiyo due to this variation inapelekea wale ndege wana explore variety of foods, so functions are different. But ukija kwenye embryonic origin yao is the same and they are termed, the beaks in birds, they are termed as homologous structure. On C, we can see wings in birds and insects. Tukiangalia kwenye ndege, the birds possess wings and the insects, for instance, you can take the housefly, also possess wings. So, ukiangalia for instance, wings za birds, ukicompare na wings za housefly, wings za termites, wote wana wings na they use it to fly. But you can see the function is the same, but the embryonic origin of the housefly is quietly different from the embryonic origin of the bird. And that is, we can say they belong to analogous structure, not homologous structure. So according to our question, the correct answer will be wings in birds and insects are the one which are not homologous structure. Finalizing with D, we can see the heart structure in cows and monkeys. These are the homologous structure since they resemble each other and they have the same embryonic origin. Now we are going to part number 5. Question number 5. The concept that living organisms arise from non-living matter is called dash dash. The concept that living organisms arise from non-living matter is called dash dash. Sasa uweze kuexplore what is that concept, kwamba living organisms arise from non-living organism, and this concept you can find it on the spontaneous generation theory. That was all about A, you can see it's biogenesis, B, evolution, C is speciation, and D, abiogenesis. So you can see the correct answer is the biogenesis, the process from which living organisms arise from non-living organisms. And the question number 6, you can see structures with a common ancestral origin but with different functions are called structures with a common ancestral origin but with different functions are called dash dash. I already talked much about that. Tumeongea sana kuhusiana na hizi structure ambazo zina common origin but zina different function. Tukizungumzia common origin tunamaanisha homo, same, homologous structure. Are those structures with common embryonic origin but they perform different function external. As you can see on the choices, A is vestigial structure, B is analogous structure, C is homologous structure, and D is rudimentary structure. So the correct answer here is C, homologous structure. And now we are going to take a look on the question number 7. You can see, which of the following statements about man is false? Ni statement gani ambayo tunaenda kuangalia hapo inamzungumzia man? Ni statement ya uongo. As you can see, first one is that shows bipedalism. Man shows bipedalism. This is the true statement. That means man show bipedalism, meaning that the man used to walk with 2 limbs. Anatumia miguu miwili kutembelea na mingine kutendea kazi nyingine. But B, high intellectual capacity, this also is true. This is statement is also true about man. And C, you can see 4 limbs are used for manipulation. 4 limbs of the man are used for manipulation. We can see also this is true. 4 limbs tunazungumzia mikono inatumika kwa ajili ya manipulation, au tunasema kwamba inatumika kwa ajili ya activities mbalimbali, normal life activities. But the D is opposable toes. Tunapozungumzia opposable toes ni kama toes za kina mbwa, kina paka, kina goats, sheep, and so forth. So this statement is false about man. Man doesn't possess the opposable toes. Sorry. So the correct answer here is D. The correct answer for question number 7 is D. And now let's take a look on the question number 8. You can see the emergence of new species from pre-existing one is known as. The emergence of new species from the pre-existing one is referred as dash dash. You can see A is organic evolution, B is speciation, C is mutation, and D is reproduction. Ukiangalia swali majibu choices zimekaa kimtego. For instance, ukiangalia reproduction, it means kwamba there is the emergence of new species kutoka katika pre-existing, but that species might resemble the origin one. That is all about reproduction. Mutation ni some changes tu zinazotokea lakini hazibadilishi species total. Also tukija kwenye point ya speciation, is that the correct answer where the new species arises from the pre-existing one. And when we talk about the new species, we mean that the species different from the origin one. So I hope you understand. And now on the question number 9, you can say the theory of use and disuse was put forward by dash dash. The theory of use and disuse was put forward by dash. Ni nani aliye propose the theory of use and disuse? When you take your time back to our media, utapata solution ya maswali yote haya, even though tumesha provide solution, but we'll get an ample time to understand in a wide manner. For instance, here you can see this theory of use and disuse was put forward by Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, and you can study also about various scientists ambao walizungumzia kuhusiana na evolution. Let's take a look on the choices. A is Aristotle, B is Pasteur, C is Lamarck, and D is Darwin. The correct answer is A, C, Lamarck. And in the question number 10, you can see which statement is false about evolution. Hapa ni statement gani ambayo ni false about evolution? The first one is it brings about new species. B, it brings about variation in organisms. Ukiangalia hizi statement hapa zote ni true about evolution. And C, you can see it brings changes that adapt its organism to the environment. And D, it is always disadvantages. The correct answer here is D, that the false statement about evolution is that it is always disadvantages. Evolution sio always a disadvantages, but it possesses some advantages ambazo ni pamoja na kupata a rising of new species, pia kusaidia traits ambazo ni imara kuendelea kusurvive katika mazingira. Again, question number 11. The theory of special creation postulates. As you can see, the question number 11, the theory of special creation postulates that dash dash A, organisms emerged from non-living matter. B, organisms arise from pre-existing forms. C, a supernatural being created the earth and all the living things. D, life started after elements joined to form organic compounds. Here we are talking about the theory of special creation, and if we remember, the theory of special creation was all about the creation of life and everything within it created by the supernatural being, a god. That is all about the theory of natural selection. And the correct answer here is C, a supernatural being created the earth and all the living things. Now on the question number 12, you can see the major objection to Lamarck's theory of use and disuse was, tunaenda kuangalia objection is just like the backwardness or the weakness of Lamarck's theory of use and disuse. A, you can see disuse of an organ leads to its disappearance. B, acquired traits are non-heritable. C, non-organ is disused since no organ is disused since all organs have specific functions. And D, acquired traits affect only the genotype. As you can see here, the major objection of this theory of Lamarck ilikuwa ni kwamba acquired traits can never be inherited. That is B, which is acquired traits are non-heritable. That was the major objection. On the question number 13, you can see the ability of an animal to stand upright with his hind limb is called. That is all about man. Uwezo wa animal kuweza kustand with his hind limb upright, kama mimi hapa nilivyosimama, inaitwaje? A is pentadactyl, B bipedalism, C homology, and D analogy. This is all about bipedalism, standing with two limbs uprightly. Again, we can see question number 14. Which theory suggests that life arose from the evolution of simple organic molecules into more complex ones and the ultimate evolution into cells? Ni theory gani iliyokuwa inasema kwamba life originated from simple organic molecules ambazo zilikuwa linked kuform complex one and the ultimate transformation into the cells. As we can remember, this is the biochemical theory of origin of life. We can see A is spontaneous generation theory, B cosmozoic theory, C biochemical evolution theory, and D steady state theory. Theory ambayo ilielezea about chemicals and their transformation to the more complex form as well as to the cells ilikuwa ni biochemical evolution theory, which is C as a correct answer. And up to here, my dear student, this marks the end of our good session of today. And I would like to invite you to the proceeding sessions because this is the revision exercise question number 4, question number 1 up to 14. I would like to welcome you on the proceeding question number 15 and so forth in the proceeding sessions. Thank you for following us, Educare Media Tanzania. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.